Carnal's video on the the child who was killed at 5 years old, and he mentioned this moral foundations test. And so I thought I'd make a video and record my own personal responses to it. So here we go. Social scientists such as Ravi Iyer and Jonathan Haidt argue that there are substantial variations in human morality, and that these differences influence not just a person's decision making and reasoning processes, but also their political outlook. In recent years, researchers and scholars from all over the world have converged on the framework on moral foundations theory in an attempt to explain these individual differences, as well as to make sense of the many instances of moral outrage and offense that are increasingly seen in public debate. By drawing on findings from their research, this test aims to give you your scores according to the moral foundations framework. For each of the following items, indicate whether you think it's morally okay or not. So this is about your own personal biases and what you personally feel about each of these scenarios. The first one, Brian does not cooperate with law enforcement. Whenever he is pulled over, he refuses to answer questions and starts bickering with the officer about his rights. That gets a 2 thumbs down for me. It's not the worst thing you could do, but as far as I'm concerned, no officer wants to spend his time bickering with some idiot with whom he probably has his probable cause with. Either you were caught speeding, you have a tail light out. Going up to a law enforcement officer and just being belligerent isn't good. So I give that 2 thumbs down. Dan turns up the TV just as his father was talking about his military service. That gives 3. That's actually a 3. 3 thumbs down for me. Greatly dislike that. Bob and Pam are siblings. Bob is given $10 by their father and is told to distribute it between them as he likes. Bob gives $1 to Pam and pockets the 9 for himself. I actually like that one because I don't know. Bob's father should have known what the outcome was going to be. So I'm going to hit 2 thumbs up for that one. When a homeless man asks Matt for spare change, Matt keeps walking and says, "Don't talk to me, loser." It's not nice, but it's not as if Matt's actually obligated to give any money, so I'm kind of neutral on it. Sarah gets drunk in a bar and makes out with 2 strangers at once. That is peak degeneracy. No. And who are the 2 strangers? What idiots would consent? No. Just no. Adam and Beth have been dating for 3 years. Adam is reluctant to have children, so Beth tells him she's on the pill when she isn't. Ooh. I'll be very honest. I respect Beth for wanting to be a mom more than I respect Adam for wanting to be a fuckboy. So God damn. And they've been dating for 3 years. 3 years. You know what? I'm going to say 3 years is sufficient enough. I don't know. At that time, after 3 years, I think that you're already considered living together. That you're, I don't know. Huh. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up, to be honest. A pair of parents read about the exotic delicacies of Africa and the Far East. In the coming week, they serve dog meat to their children. No. You want the delicacies of the Far East? You go to the Far East. You don't experiment at home. Enjoy the culture in that culture. God damn. A group of parents concerned about their children's risk of obesity demand that the local store stop selling extra large size candy bars and soft drinks. No, that's stupid. No. I mean, you can stop your kid from. You can talk to your kid about it, but it. No. Just no. Three thumbs down. Okay, a Christian bakery refuses to custom decorate a cake with chocolate letters that would carry a pro-gay message. I'm all for you refusing. You have the right to tell someone no. That's different from telling someone what they must and must not do. Also, you don't have the right to someone's artistic talent. Hannah inherited an old flag from her country from her inherited an old flag from of her country from her father, but has never used it. One day when Hannah is cleaning the house, she discovers that she's out of rags, so she uses the flag as a rag to clean. No, that is remarkably rude. Not just rude, it's insanely ungrateful. And I think gratitude is the virtue by which I would like to uh, center my life on. I think that gratitude is the virtue of all virtues. So I'm gonna give that three thumbs down. In biology class, a human hand preserved in a jar is passed around among the students. You know what? It's a dead hand. There's nothing sacred about a removed piece of anatomy that is in a preserved jar. So, no, there's nothing immoral about that, in my view. Tina promises her dying mother that she'll visit her grave once a month. After the mother has passed away, Tina finds it hard to squeeze time, and her visits drop to about once a year. That's fine. I mean, that is perfectly okay. As long as you are doing your best and trying to honor the dead, you have you have done your duty. Some men have a private all-male club and feminists take them to court demanding that they open it up to women. No. Freedom of association. Get away. The head of a public department says that none of her employees are allowed to smoke at all, not even in their free time. No, I'm not okay with that. It's the public health department. It's a government entity. You can't tell people that they can't have their vices. Even, yeah, it's one thing when you're on the job, but free time, nah, three thumbs down. When Kelly asks Steven out on a date, he sneers and says, like I'm gonna date a woman who looks like my overweight bulldog. Well, that's peak traditional. It's rude. It's uncouth. He should have been far more gentlemanly about it. But I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because Steven should have been asking her out, and men should be far more selective about the women that they let in their lives. That's just where I stand right now. When Lily tells her classmate Sue that it's her dream to be prom queen, Sue laughs out loud and says, "You're too ugly for that." Well, was Sue lying? Is the main question. So just one thumb up. I mean, I'm not. The truth is, are Lily and Sue friends? Yeah, I'm one thumb up. It's not impressive, but at least it's not. At least it's not. At least it's not a lie. Scott is hosting a dinner party. For dessert, he serves chocolate cake shaped to look like dog poop. that that's actually impressive. Two thumbs up. Just two though. Jack and Will are classmates. Will's father is a lawyer. When he picks up Will from school, he refuses to say hi to Jack's father because he's only a janitor. That's actually shit. Everyone who works for a living is worthy of respect. And I'll be honest. What would your life be without the janitor? I mean, the lawyer's probably a lazy piece of shit. Because time costs money and lawyers, you know, judge their worth based on the amount of time that they spend on their crafts. So if they don't feel that it's worth the time to pick up a piece of trash, they're not going to do it. So ergo, they necessitate the need for the janitor. Yeah, and it's just a shitty thing to do. If someone's working for a living and they bring home the bacon, that's all that's required. When Carl's soccer team is squaring off against the team of another nation, he sings along to the other team's national anthem instead of his own. That is disgusting and traitorous. You no, ungrateful piece of swine. Julie asks her friends to not fraternize with their ex-boyfriend Jake, since he cheated on her with other women. 3 weeks later, Julie's friend Melissa is dating him. Jake sounds like a fuckboy, and Julie was an idiot for being attracted to him in the first place. However, we're asking about how we feel about Melissa dating Jake, and that is peak thoughterry, so 3 thumbs down. Using both a condom and the pill, a brother and a sister decide that they want to sleep with each other just once to see what it would be like. No, that is never okay. Never. That is peaks. I don't even care that that they have removed procreation from the equation. The fact of the matter is, the way that human beings process sex emotionally is always going to be from a procreative place, and that is a that is a grave misuse. and honestly, brother and sister, really? No, that is. How do I put this? How does a brother and a sister get to the point that they decided it would be a good idea to try and have sex with one another? And the implication is that they're fully biologically related. And even though there's the kissing cousin phenomenon, it doesn't extend into the kissing siblings phenomenon unless you are degenerate, unless there's something wrong with you. There is a reason why when siblings try to reproduce, the kids come out retarded. Literally retarded. So the fact that this has been psychologically removed from this brother and sister by modern means is grossly unhealthy and will not lead to a good place. Tim asks his father for permission to stay out late because his classmates are throwing a party. When his father refuses, Tim slams the door in his face. I'm neutral on it. It's a healthy response to disagree with your parent and your authority figure. Father's face, it means that he's still at home. He has still honored the order. So he doesn't have to like it, he just has to obey it. Amy and me are co-workers. One day, Amy offers Mia to take one of her shifts, no strings attached. Sometime later, Amy could really use someone to fill in for her, but Mia doesn't feel compelled because of Amy's original offer had, quote, no strings attached. That's perfectly fine. If someone promises no strings attached, they should mean it. And working at an office environment and being in a semi-retail industry, that's just reality. And there's no such thing as no strings attached. But if you say it, you gotta mean it. So, props on Mia. A man sets up an unlicensed medical practice, but makes all of his customers sign a contract acknowledging that he is not a licensed physician. I actually like this. I approve of it because if the customer is willing to assume the risk of seeing an unlicensed individual, they should have the liberty to do so. And I think that medical practice needs competition. They need genuine alternative competition to see what is best for the health and maintenance of the populace. An army lieutenant neglects to file a report on a civilian killing done by his troops because he knows it was an accident. That's a negative. You don't, even if you know it was an accident, you have a duty to do your duty, and it should have been at least told to your superior. Whether that requires a filing, I'm not certain. But if he keeps it under wraps and keeps it away from his superiors, that's no. He has an order and he needs to stick to it. John's soccer coach decides that everyone on the team must wear black soccer shoes, but on the day of the match, John shows up in white soccer shoes instead. Man, that's just a shit thing to do. 2 thumbs down for John, because John's not being a team player, and morale is important when you're on a team and when you're taking on an opponent. You need unity. That's just part of the job. A man orders a custom-built sex doll designed to look just like his Nope. No. Okay. A quick comment on this. There has been, in the news, from what I've seen, a disturbing uptick in fathers impregnating stepdaughters, in children being abused in the home, and incestuous arrangements, and it is because these events have increased since I've noticed the popularity of incest porn on major tube sites, and I'm not enthusiastic about make believe with that, and it just has a tendency of spilling out into real life with some of the with the retards. And I'm sorry, but when it comes to the lowest common denominator, people like this man's hypothetical niece does deserve some protection and insulation from society. Sarah's dog has 4 puppies. She can only find a home for 2 of them, so she kills the other 2 with a stone to the head. You don't kill puppies because you can't find a home for them. Look, there are many stages in a puppy's life where you can rehome them. You know, it's not all or nothing by week 6. That's not how that works. You can always rehome later. So, yeah. So, someone needs to give Sarah a loving lesson with a rock. A new action figure becomes all the rage among the boys in Timmy's class. When Timmy's parents get to the store, they buy all of the action figures for Timmy, leaving none for the other children. Major dislike on that one, because Timmy doesn't need all of them. You are not getting Timmy extra joy by having all of the toys. You just needed one. And that was all you... Now, I know there are several economic arguments about libertarian values and whatnot, but this isn't about the economic value of the toy or your right to purchase the toy. This is about, was this necessary for Timmy's happiness? And the fact is, no. I don't think this has a good moral effect on Timmy. Okay, yeah, we're on the right one. Well, on a live, on-air TV show, a man kills a baby rabbit with a knife. Okay, this one needs context, because I don't know if he's killing the baby rabbit to cook it. I don't know if he's just being a sadistic fuck. I don't know anything about this, about why a man would be killing a baby rabbit with a knife on an on-air TV show. That's my primary question, is why the act itself doesn't disturb me so much as I don't know why. If it's just for gratuitous violence, I'm gonna go with, 3 thumbs down because it's unnecessary. Was it a comedy skit? That might get 2 thumbs down. If he's cooking the rabbit, I'll give him a thumb up, because he's triggering the libs. But just to be safe, I'm going to go with 2 thumbs down because this does not give me enough information. The principal of the school says that none of her students are allowed to draw Muhammad on the school premises or bring Muhammad cartoons to school. Disavow. Draw Muhammad. Go. Every religion deserves criticism. And yes, I say that as a religious person. Have at it. Shit. Tom and Linda have been dating for almost a year. Since they've never agreed to be exclusive, Tom sleeps with other women without telling Linda. No. Humans don't get into relationships just for the hell of it. And if you've been dating for almost a year, it's pretty much assumed that you should be exclusive. And within human beings, there are unspoken expectations. And when you have one of the partner breaking those unspoken expectations that you are exclusive, after dating for a year, it should have been stated. Now, if this had said Tom and Linda have been dating for almost a year and they've agreed to not be exclusive, that would be somewhat different. But this, no. That just makes you that's just fuckboy shit. Jane's boss calls all of his employees by their first names, but does not allow any of them to call him by his first name. When James insists it must be a two-way street, he fires her. I mean, sure, it's not fair, but he is the boss, so we're going to go with 1 thumb up. In sex education class, the students are taught that since the sexes are equal, that girls should sleep with as many guys as they want without fear of being considered sluts. The fact of the matter is, everyone should be afraid of being considered a slut because you might catch something. Good God. Emma and Cindy are summer interns at Chris's office. Emma does slightly better than Cindy. At the end of the summer, there is only one job opening, but Chris gives it to Cindy because he finds her more attractive. Okay, I'm going to dislike it, not just because Emma deserved the job, but because Chris, by finding Cindy more attractive, has basically made a trap for himself. And no good will come of this decision. In sex education class, the students are asked to inflate a condom with their mouth. No. Yeah, no. There's no reason to ask a student to inflate a condom with their mouth, since that's not how condoms work. You roll that baby on. You don't inflate it. Good. Ugh. Alright, let's see what I got. Holy shit. Okay, so when it comes to care, I'm 67%. Loyalty is 75%. Fairness is 56%. Authority is 69%. I'm actually... Interesting. Purity is 83%. Not surprising. Liberty is 100%. That's actually on par. That's actually where it should be. Your strongest moral foundation is liberty. Your morality is closest to that of a conservative. All right. Well, that was the test. And I'm actually intrigued by these results. This actually surprised me just a little bit. I knew I would be higher in the purity department, but I wasn't so... I guess I was shocked to see that authority was passed by loyalty, and that does make sense. It's not wrong, but I should have seen that I'm more inclined to loyalty than I am to authority. Um, and that's it, guys. This is where I lie on my moral foundations test. As I said before, I prefer gratitude as my guiding moral value, and I think this is pretty accurate. So there it is. See you guys soon.